Demir for Huru. Thank you so much for joining us, as we always do before we get started. We just want to thank you all for supporting Search for Huru. To our Care Bars partners who are watching, thank you so much for being a part of Team Fitzgerald and Team Dynasty Demir, Team Fitzgerald Stevens and Team Dynasty Demir. Make sure you guys go to dynastydemir.com. Again, go to dynastydemir.com. If you're watching this stream, if you have picked up the if you have not picked up the new children's book release, It's Libation Time, a children's guide to the ancestors, you need to go get that. You need to go get that. So go to dynastymir.com and buy your copy. Also, while you're there, join the email list. Again, please join the email list. Like, share, and subscribe to the content. We really appreciate your guys' support. Again, like, share, and subscribe to the content. And then become a monthly Patreon, patreon.com, search for Huru, patreon.com, search for Huru. Without further ado, we have our special guest on today. He's on every day. Oh. Let me put this back up. He's on every day. Well, 5 days out of upside down. Well, at least 6 days out of the week. Brother Fitzgerald Stevens. And today's topic, I found this article online. Why is Black talent opting out of corporate America? And I wanted to go through this article. It's very, very interesting. Like I said, I opted out I mentally opted out in 2017. So I know it's, what I'm noticing with this platform too, a lot of African Americans are now interested in Africa. At first, when I first started this platform, it was more, just the conscious community, I guess. Now I'm noticing a lot of Black professionals are like, you know what, Dynus, I want to take my talents to Africa. I've reached, I guess it's called the glass ceiling. I think it's called. Is that the term, the glass ceiling or whatever?
Yep.
And I want to take my talents to Africa, but I'm trying to figure out a way to go to Africa but still earn income while I'm there, because obviously I'm still going to have to produce. So that's why I say, you know what, Care Bars is a great opportunity. So in the chat room is my Care Bars affiliate link. Click on that affiliate link. Sign up as an affiliate. Also is scrolling at the bottom on the ticker and will be in the description. Sign up as an affiliate. Sign up as an affiliate, and I will personally call you, and we will get you guys up and running. Mr. Fitzgerald Stevens, you want to introduce yourself? Go ahead. For those.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fitzgerald Stevens, and might be familiar to some and a stranger to others. But I'm an entrepreneur down here by way of Tampa, Florida. And what we generally go with Mr. Mayor and I, we just chop it up, as he liked to say, and just talk about things to help build wealth in your family, help you acquire assets, just help bring economic and financial security in your house. And we do that. We talk about a lot of concepts to achieve that, but the primary wealth tool that we use to do that is by way of Care Bars. We are a big proponent of home-based businesses, a big proponent of creating residual income for yourself and saving assets, and having a business that you can enjoy tax breaks like business owners do, and definitely leaving generational wealth to your children or your family as a whole. And that's what we do. We see this work as important, because so much of our lives is affected by lack of finances. So we want to just try to get that out the way and show you where the opportunities are being availed out there. You want to get yourself in a position where it's not really a concern of what the job market is or the stock market is doing or not doing. You have a system of wealth that's going to make sure you and your family is financially taken care of no matter what. And there's just so much opportunity out there. So Care Bars is a way that we found that works very well for us. But although there are many other opportunities out there, but they all run by the same concept. You have to create your own income streams. And so hopefully we can say something that will be beneficial to you today, and just get you thinking and like, okay, maybe I do need to look at some other options besides, in addition to what I'm doing right now. Because change is inevitable. Change is going to come, and you want to definitely be prepared for it.
All right, guys. Again, like, share, and subscribe when you guys enter the chat room. Again, like, share, and subscribe. Let's jump into this article. So this is on cornferry.com. Why is black talent opting out of corporate America? Talented but frustrated black executives are leaving big firms at an alarming rate. Well, recent tensions force companies to create better career paths. See the new issue of Briefings magazine available at newsstands and online. Let me share the screen real quick. Let me go ahead and share the screen.
And can you please type the source of that article in, Prince, when I can just go ahead and look at that at a later time when we're off this
Yeah,
broadcast?
yeah, I'll put it in the chat room right
Thank
now.
you.
1 second. I'm gonna throw it in the chat room. There we go. We're going to do it like this. You see the whole screen. All right. Okay, there we go. All right. So Mike A. Brown seemed to be on her way to greater things as the national business development manager for a major city newspaper. She conceptualized and hosted a video series called Minority Report that showcased the city's entrepreneurs and leaders of color. In short order, the 5-minute video series became one of the two most watched for the daily paper, generating not only clicks but also much needed advertising and sponsorship revenue. So 2 years into the project, she decided to pitch her managers and executives at the paper on a more expansive production. The response, they passed, citing a variety of expense issues. Frustrated, she left. It was clear that I wasn't going to grow and develop there, says Brown. Undeterred, she went on to find greater things, just not in the corporate world. She put together a bunch of freelance side hustles and turned them into her main hustle. Guys, what have we been saying? What have we been saying on
read that again, man. Read that again.
She put together a bunch of freelance side hustles and turned them into her main hustle. Guys, what have we been saying here on Search for a Huru? Your side hustle is going to become your main hustle. Guys, I promise you, this is the first time reading this article. I've been saying that for months now. She launched her series under a new name. The Michael Brown Report began hosting an urban business roundtable talk show on a local radio station and set up a sales agency. I got one contracting assignment and then another, and then I was project managing, says Brown 5 years later. The public outcry that started when George Floyd died under police custody this spring may have jolted corporate leaders into admitting how widespread racism at companies remains. But while CEOs are putting out statements and creating more chief diversity officers, experts say any real change faces a simple but critical hurdle, convincing top black executives to stay on board. Indeed, by nearly all accounts, too many have looked at their opportunities, seen racism, and decided to opt out of the corporate world for more solo opportunities. A lot of black talent doesn't feel valued by corporate America, so they are saying, screw them, I'm better off on my own, says JT Saunders, a senior consultant with Korn Ferry's diversity and inclusion practice. It's a trend that has to stop. That won't be easy given the stubborn lack of progress firms have with diversity. I've always said this, guys, working in corporate America, diversity and inclusion is just what we call a check the box task, to be honest with you. It's just something they put out there. It's just lip service for the most part. And I know a lot of people think when they hear diversity and inclusion, it has to do with race, and a lot of black people think it has to do with inclusion of people that of melanated people or black people. But I was in a meeting one day at my old job, and they twisted it, and they said diversity and inclusion is if one guy likes basketball and another guy likes basketball, that's an example of diversity and inclusion. So they're starting to shift more towards that versus how people like people like myself, as far as black people look at it, is more, well, he likes basketball, I like basketball, that's inclusion. He likes basketball, I like football, that's diversity and inclusion. So and I'm being serious, you guys. Like I'm telling you. Were you about to say something, Fitzgerald?
I was saying that's silly.
No, but I'm there. And Fitzgerald, guess who said that? Yeah. Just take a wild guess who said that. We'll give that example.
That sound like it. That sound like it. It'd come a lot from Caucasian man.
No. It was the same brother that said if you saw a guy in a gray suit, he wouldn't hire
Wow.
him. Let's continue. At the current count, there are only 4 Black CEOs leading Fortune 500 firms, and as of 2019, fewer than 10% of the most senior P&L leaders in the Fortune 500 were Black. Yeah, Blacks are getting advanced degrees at a higher rate than ever before. More than 2 million Black Americans aged 25 or older currently have advanced degrees instead of converging, because more Blacks with advanced degrees should equate to more representation in executive positions. The numbers are diverging. For their part, businesses now know full well the trend is both highly unfortunate and highly unprofitable. Numerous studies show that a diverse and inclusive leadership team and labor force can mean everything from increased customer base to great innovation. But again, we have to define the way some of these companies are defining diverse and inclusive. Again, Fitzgerald Stevens is an Alabama fan. I'm a Georgia fan. That's diversity.
That's not diversity.
Oh, but for sure, I'm just telling you the way it's being painted in some corporations.
Well, the way it's being painted like that because they just don't want to address the issues and I'm not going to say getting political. I'm going to get socialist. Like we see, like when originally when it was talked about the Black Lives Matters, and yeah, they do, and police brutality and the discrimination in housing, banking services is a real big deal. Yet you have other groups who say, well, no, all lives matter. Yeah, all lives do matters, but the Black Lives Matters, those are the ones that's being really singled out with a lot of these injustices going on. This is fact, and everyone knows that. And so just to go ahead and dilute the message, you're going to say, well, all lives matters, of course, but we're not talking about all lives matters. All lives are not endangered. Black lives are, or you could look at other interests where that can be applied to anything. That could be, say, well, are different groups more important? It's not a matter of being important. It's not a matter of being important. That's the total watered down of the message. The matter of the matter is, that we have to look at the particular injustices that are perpetuated on one group without being perpetuated on the whole. That when you equate like all lives matter, you're diluting the original message, and you can apply that to anyone. Yeah, I'm an equal opportunist, as far as when it comes like that. I mean, Palestinian lives are just as important as Israelis' lives. Polish lives are just as important as German lives. Angolian lives are just as important as South African lives or Nigerian lives. So I believe in the sanctity and fairness of life for everyone. Not that some group has special privileges that the other one don't. And then when you address something like that, it doesn't make you speak it out against the whole. Now people will say, well, Black Lives Matter have been hijacked by things, and I can say, yeah, I agree, but the original message doesn't change. Especially what's going on that we see around the globe and stuff. So you just can't take from the nucleus of the movement just because it's attracted other elements who actually have attached themselves to a movement that they never have anything to do with in the first place. That's just my belief. So when someone say the diversification or inclusion, man, dude, you know what? I like chocolate ice cream. Dynas likes yogurt. You're gonna tell me that's diversification? Get enough of that foolishness. I'm an Alabama grad. He's a Georgia grad, or someone's a Virginia Tech or a Morehouse, and you're gonna tell me because you got all these different people in there, that's diversity? That's foolishness. That's foolishness. Diversity that you apply the rules the same all the way around. Without the expense without the at the detriment of another groups. Black people, gay people, white people, Spanish people, Native Americans, First Nations people are just as important as anybody else, and the rules should be applied fairly. And so when the rules are not applied fairly, then you need to figure out why. And I could save you all your money with that because the racism and prejudice, you just don't want to do it. You don't need to spend a couple $1 million studying that. You just don't want to do it because deep down somewhere along the line, some people think they're better than other people simply because of maybe their socioeconomic status or their skin color or their sexual orientation, or anything. That's wrong. And so you can't sit around there and just dilute that. And so those things have to be addressed. But when you start attaching nonsense, with things that don't have anything to do with the original concerns, that's just foolishness. You're still not addressing it. I mean, I just see that, and that's the new hustle today. That's the new hustle today, and unfortunately, we see this a lot in this nation right here. We're going to deflect. We're not going to address the real issues. We're going to attack everything. They're kneeling for the flag. Yet your Klan boys, they're burning crosses. These guys, they're using their platform to talk about issues when they just should play ball. Yet you can wear your hats and your statements, and it's okay. So the things have to be applied fairly. That's how I feel about that, Prince, because it affects us all, man. And it's high time out for the fact of the matter is it's high time out to that. The fact of the matter is September 10th, 2020, we're still talking about this as barbaric within itself.
All right.
The fact that this article has to be, this article had to be written in there is barbaric within itself. There are a lot of highly educated Black people, women, different people, Spanish, Caucasian people, highly educated, and they should go ahead and feel like that their voices matter. Now, I'm of this interest, and I personally think this employee is doing great. Whatever her name is, the fact that she decided to leave corporate America because she brought something in there, she wasn't appreciated. Go start your own. I applaud that, and that just shows the short-sightedness of her employee. Listen, she's already pulled you guys out of sling by bringing in much ad revenue with her articles, her talent, stuff like that. And whether you seeing the need to keep someone like that because maybe she could really bring much more revenue, what you give her a whole bunch of dumb excuses about why do you don't think this is a good idea and this and that. She has every right to go out there and start her own. And that's what I advocate. Because, ladies and gentlemen, no one's going to give you a chance like you are. You got to understand these jobs, I don't know where in the world you think they don't care about you. You're expendable. And so, and you have a talent, that you can parlay into the marketplace that they're willing to pay you for, by all means, go for it. Go for it. And if you're going to play the African game, if you're going to think about moving overseas, or particularly with Africa, which is what this channel mostly talks about, man, you better go over there with the ability to create something. You better go over there, but you better go in there with an entrepreneur brain and an entrepreneur mind, as opposed to going out there hoping you're going to find a job somewhere. That's not practical. If that's the case, I suggest you just stay here. My humble opinion.
Let's get back. Where was I? Let's see here. For their part, businesses know. Okay, I already read that. Let's see. Here we go. But the question remains the same. Can corporations create a truly inclusive environment that makes Black talent feel like the traditional corporate path is a real and compelling option? There's been progress, but it isn't keeping pace with the reality of what we need, says Saunders, especially now. For all the progress organizations have made to advance Black talent, which is indeed significant, many of the barriers that exist today existed 10, 20, and even 30 years ago. It's no secret that discrimination, others' unconscious biases have been an overwhelming roadblock for Black professionals hoping to advance into leadership positions. Not unlike in the past, Black workers work today, say companies lack enough role models, mentors, and sponsors within and outside the organization to cause change. What's more, outdated org charts and weak training programs leave many feeling trapped. and as if job performance doesn't matter. Jamal Jackson, a Chicago lawyer, for example, says he knew upon entering college that he wanted to practice corporate law. He interned at law firms throughout college and eventually graduated with a combined MBA, JD in 2012, but passed on trying any big name firm. Too often, he said, large firms put new associates behind a desk with little client interaction. His limited experiences were enough for him to realize that he didn't want to work in a big name firm. You don't control the mechanics of the relationship, he says. The expectation is that you sit back and observe and play the game, and at some point in the future, you will have your time. For Jackson, that didn't fly. After watching his mother, who passed away at age 44, work jobs she didn't want for most of her life, he wasn't about to do the same. I've been saying that, you guys. We've been talking about that as well. We've been talking about that as well. As far as it's just you no longer have the luxury of time. If you want to start that business, do it now. Do it now. If you want to be an entrepreneur, go after it and do it now. And also, like what we've discussed on here before, every person I know that left corporate America, they tell me, Dynas, I wish I would have done it sooner. He started his own firm, Jackson Corporate Law, which grew into a success, advising firms from startups to organizations with up to $50 million in revenue on tax issues, mergers and acquisitions, commercial litigation, intellectual property, and more. Jackson's view of corporate life is not uncommon among the younger generation of Black talent who feel that traditional career routes are not only no longer stable, but also a direct contradiction to their ethos of wanting purpose and inspiration from their work. Moreover, while older generations of Black talent may have felt they had fewer options, in today's startup and digital enabled entrepreneurial environment, more options are available to younger talent to advance their career goals without sacrificing their cultural identity. To this newer generation of Black talent, going corporate means giving a larger entity control over their experiences, salaries, and advancement, says Andres Tapia, a Korn Ferry senior client partner who is a diversity and inclusion strategist. The more engaging thing for them to do is leverage their knowledge, experience, capital, and relationships to create their own businesses. Chastity M. Williams.
Hold on. Prince, you went over that too fast. Say that again. The more.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. The more engaging thing for them to do is to leverage their knowledge, experience, capital, and relationships to create their own businesses. Wow. Now let me back up for a second. So this is Andres Tapia, Korn Ferry senior client partner, who is a diversity and inclusion strategist. Okay, so he's a diversity and inclusion strategist, and he's suggesting start your own.
Saying that.
Yeah, he's saying start your own business.
He's saying that,
Right. Wow, he says start your own business.
Mm-hmm. now, Prince, what Prince and to the audience, and this question is primarily directed to you to answer, Prince. What is he not saying? What is inferred that he's not saying?
Go get a job.
What he's saying, yes, but what he's saying is, if you look for diversity in the corporate workplace, you ain't gonna find it.
Right.
Because if not, why would he advocate just go ahead and take your talents and start your own game? If there was a chance that he could see that changing. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe in my heart of hearts, eventually there will be the diversity. There will be companies that are doing that right. I believe that, and I believe it's going to be on a whole. For example, there was a company I used to work with called Thrive, and based in it's a software company based in Dallas, Texas. Man, the diversity Thrive has is absolutely incredible. You see Black, white, Indian, Latinos, everyone working for one goal and one thing. You see them in management. Like the attorney, the corporate attorney there for Thrive is a Black gentleman. You see all kinds of opportunities for that. Now that was cool. I love that company. Because they had that atmosphere that was real great. You see it with the cafeteria, but I think companies like that I think they are the rare. I think there are more companies that are needed. And I think some are trying to go up. But I think for the most part, when we really come to that, that stage, Diana, so it's just as common. Hopefully, it happens when your son is like 26 or 30 years old. Man, I don't know if I'll be around to see that. I mean, I think it's going to take. I think it's going to take several decades. I think we're seeing some movements now, which this Joy Floyd the Floyd open up a can of worms and making this really prevalent that on a global scale. But man, for the most part, I would like to suggest that people follow what this diversity officer has said. He said, basically get out there and start your own. And if you want diversity, you better go out there and build a platform where it is, because don't look for it overall on a whole within corporate America. That's exactly what I feel he's saying.
Chastity M. Williams is doing just that. Williams left the corporate world after 15 years working in tech leadership positions for Microsoft, Xerox, and others. Recently graduating with an executive MBA from Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management. Instead of continuing her pursuit up the corporate ladder, she decided to launch a new tech venture, Collective Intelligentsia Inc., which uses artificial and collective intelligence to empower individuals to think smarter, faster. While Williams concedes the move is risky, she says it's the right one for her. To illustrate her point, she compares enterprise software to consumer tech, saying that over the last few decades, the former category has been mostly about minimizing risk, while the latter has embraced change and innovation. I had to ask myself, do I really want to continue to target corporate executive leadership positions, or should I leverage my skills to drive innovation through entrepreneurship? Williams says. Global market opportunities also played a role in Williams' decision. We are the CEOs of our lives, as just as corporations take advantage of market conditions to thrive, people should too, says Williams. She says the gig economy, work life integration, the rise in cultural consciousness, and a more connected global society helped change her thinking
Let me
about her.
stop you again, Prince. Just as corporations take advantage of read that sentence again.
Uh,
Just as corporations take advantage of.
yeah, I'm trying to find. There's a wild she compares. I'm trying to find which part.
Well, that's what we have been advocating. So just as corporate take advantage of situations, we ought to too. Think I'm paraphrasing that. But it comes.
I found it. We are the CEOs of our lives, and just as corporations take advantage of market conditions to thrive, people should too. There you go.
We are the CEOs of our lives. Man, this is incredible article.
Mm-hmm.
So this is basically what are we saying? Hey, get your own business. Take advantage of this global, this worldwide web. Create something online. Create something that you own. Start you a business. Build if you don't have the thing to do it with a traditional business, consider building your care bar business. Work within a business within the business where you can control your own wealth and your own income streams, and where you can have your own game. They're just paraphrasing that, man. So I'm glad someone else is saying that besides us.
Mm-hmm. Is there global market opportunities? I've already read that part. Entrepreneurship is a great media in which we can use our skills to create unique market value, build sustainability, profitable businesses, cultivate a more inclusive culture, and drive wealth equality, says Williams. Let's see here. Black Americans are getting advanced degrees and entering the workforce in larger numbers than ever before, but that isn't resulting in larger representation in leadership positions. 30% of the U.S. population, 22 million number of Black Americans aged 25 or older with an advanced degree, 4 Fortune 500 CEOs, 5% of all executive roles in the private sector, less than 4% of executive positions at S&P 500 companies. The common thread running through the experiences of Brown, Jackson, Williams, and many others is that they all began their careers in professional firms or corporations. It was the organizations that lost them along the way. Many Black professionals see success in a corporate setting as a crapshoot, says Jesse Tyson, the recently retired president and CEO of the National Black MBA Association, which has more than more than 14,000 members, split evenly between students getting MBA degrees and working professionals who already have them. Lately, we're seeing a growing trend toward entrepreneurship over corporate life. Lewis Montgomery Jr., leader of Korn Ferry's Human Resources and Diversity Officers Professional Search Practice, likens the opting out trend to Black self help. Because of 100 years of discrimination from the end of the Civil War through Civil Rights era due to necessity, Blacks were forced to develop a strong entrepreneurial culture. The integration happened. He says, in some ways, this is a return to that period. If there is any good news to take from the trend, Tyson says it is that it could help advance Black talents who continue to pursue corporate careers as the pool gets smaller, but not without some serious intervention from the top, he says. Indeed, building a pipeline of Black leadership talent isn't just about getting them in the door, it's about keeping them engaged and motivated once they are inside. Experts say. Montgomery says organizations still need help creating deeper, more sustainable connections to the diversity and inclusion efforts so that Black talent feel more inspired and empowered. Some of that begins with more formal mentorship and sponsorship programs, as well as better individualized development programs. But the most important thing organizations can do, particularly against the backdrop of the corporate world's reckoning with racism, is to develop a culture of purpose and actionable inclusion. That focuses on creating positive emotional experiences for both employees and customers, which in turn will lead to better engagement, financial performance, and growth. It is all consuming to live in a corporate context where you feel that your capability is always in question, says Saunders. By acknowledging the impact of cultural headwinds on Black talent, Saunders says the leaders can gain the right context to develop strategic diversity and inclusion plans that go beyond employee resource groups. Unconscious bias training, and diverse recruiting slates. It is what's needed if this moment of unrest is to mark a tipping point for change. Otherwise, says Saunders, it's just another fleeting moment that will pass. All right, there we go.
Wow, powerful article, man. Powerful article. Man, Dinaz, that thing is totally backed up. What we have been advocating for about a year. Get your own. What we advocate every day. There it is. There it is from a highly educated officials that are out there who have the skills and in the corporate America, and they're having some tough times, or they're seeing stuff that more diversification is needed. That lady, for example, what he read. Let me tell you about Northwestern Kellogg School of Business.
Go ahead.
Ivy League school without the Ivy. Northwestern University ranks along the line like a Stanford, like a Duke. And that business program, Kellogg School of Business, Northwestern out of Chicago, Illinois, by far one of the most prestigious schools you can get into in this nation.
Wow.
And so she has that type of degree, an MBA from that school, which has ever been on the par of a Harvard or University of Pennsylvania, Yale, you call it whoever you want. But she's like, I need to go out there and get my own. Now, what is that saying, man? What is that what is that saying? Sometimes it's not enough, ladies and gentlemen, for you to have your game together, but if you have like a social conscience, which I'm quite sure many of you that I'm talking to do, you want to see other opportunities open up for other people else too. You really do, and there is a problem, man. When people talk about this racism thing, they talk about this discrimination. We're not just crying wolf. We're not just making it up. When you see this stuff happening in the banking sector, the housing sectors, and it's going on decade. This is a card they've been playing since Reconstruction. Since Linda, I forget his name. He's the president after Lincoln. The cat, man, he was just horrible. Just a staunch racist, and he was a part of the Southern Confederacy, and he became president. Well, all the strides that Lincoln have made with the Reconstruction, incidentally, those guys were Republican back then, And all the strides that he has made. That the Johnson, I want to say Johnson, that was the president. He came in and overdid all that. He pulled the federal troops out, the Union troops out. They went back, and then that's when the southern terrorists called the Ku Klux Klan, who are all over right now. They came in there, pressed bros. They took away all those gains. Remember that thing, 40 acres and a mule? Everybody knew you couldn't do anything about land. I mean, when Lincoln was gone, there was nothing to stop them, and that's where all the reversing came back. And then the reversing of those gains, they had something called the Black Codes, and all this discrimination legally on the books. Like, for example, how many bars in a bar of soap where you can vote. Now, might add, whites, they didn't have to take that. That was just for blacks and all kinds of stupid stuff. And from 64 when the Civil War ended, 64, 65 to 1964 to the Civil Rights Bill was passed, 100 years of that stuff. Well, black people, they went and got together and said, okay, we're going to be entrepreneurs. Okay, well, they do that and they thrive until people were coming, other people coming in, burn their stuff down. White people coming in, burn their stuff down. So and then when the civil rights legislation went through, we're still fighting that now. We're fighting in like here's one of the big things for a lot of that diversification, a lot of that racism continue. Lack of black banks, because if you can't make loans or business loans, how are you going to get capital? Redlining, discrimination in housing and discrimination. So it's out there and it's documented well out there. And it's not. Is it better? Yeah, but discrimination is still discrimination. So what they're advocating, okay, if you're going to overcome this, if you're looking to overcome this, maybe you want to take your talent. Maybe you want to take your talents away from Hollywood, and maybe you just want to go out there and create something of your own. I am a big proponent of entrepreneurship.
Right.
I mean, I'm a huge proponent of that, because in my mind, I have been fulfilled one time on a job, and that was with the company Thrive. One time, and I felt that like I really had that my talents were really rewarded for what my talents could be. That was the only one I had that. And out of all the years I've been in the marketplace, and I haven't found it since. But I, okay, well, let's go ahead and do entrepreneurship. See, entrepreneurship, you're not going to move. You're not going to move against your own interests. And you know what? You can control the environment, and that's another thing. I've owned a couple of companies before. Okay, you didn't need to worry about the discrimination when you worked under me, because I didn't allow it as the owner and as the ruler of that business. I didn't allow it. And so a lot of this stuff, which says something about the attitude of the owners in general, if you have to keep dealing with it, it comes from the top. It really does. And so, but at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we have to get out of there and just create our own. And we really, really have to look at that. I mean, like Mr. Urban World, exactly. Tyler Perry is a good example that, hey, you know what, Hollywood, hey, man, we don't think your stuff is good. We don't want to. We'll think about it. MGM and Warner Brothers, we'll think about it. We're going to let your stuff come through it. Man, forget y'all. I'll go over to Atlanta, get a hold away from y'all, and I'll build my own empire, and they're going to come. And that's exactly what's doing. It's a little wonder he's a billionaire, and so it's ways around that. But the same thing we talk about now. You may love your job, but your job may not love you. Your job may not love you. Michael Delco taught me that one. And so you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to get out there and at least try to create something. At least give it a try.
Right.
Because that's one thing you will take to your grave if you don't. You will always regret that if you don't at least try to build something. And your talent is making someone else wealthy. You can take that opportunity, make yourself wealthy. That's what we advocate through the free enterprise system. That's what we advocate. That's what we advocate through Carrot Bars. Carrot Bars is a business that you build, that you go out there, you register a free account. You read it. The Prince Amir's link is flowing at the bottom of the screen. And what is that free account? It's a gold savings account. Why gold? Why gold? Why not? Gold is money. You're taking just a certain portion of your paper dollars, however much you want, and you're purchasing gold. Gold is going up in value. Your paper dollars is going down in value. You can purchase gold for a little less than $7, like 0.1 gram or 1 gram gold card. Like this. You just exchange that. You have this in your hands, and then you tell other people to do the same thing, and they do it, and they go ahead and start acquiring that, and you get paid for it. And you get paid for it, so up to 5 times a month if you have a business package, 1 time a month if you don't have a business package, and you are able to create residual income. You're able to build a business within the business. Residual income, money that comes in while you're sleeping. You have 149 nations around the world to do business in. You have the ability to leave your dependents, your wife and your children, your grandchildren, your residual income streams, and you have the awesome opportunity and a game changer opportunity to build a global business from home using your cell phone and computer. I mean, there's not a single one. There's not a single one of the people within the 12,000, the close to 12,000 affiliates in my organization that can tell you Fitzgerald ever discriminated against them. Can't tell you that. They won't tell you that because it's not true. I mean, there's not a single one that's going to sit up there and tell you that Fitzgerald tried to hold you back. They was outshining Fitzgerald. He didn't like that. He got jealous, and he didn't want to do anything like that, and he didn't want them to outshine it. So he told you to back off. You're not going to find that. Entrepreneurship is just that. No brakes. There is no glass ceiling. The ceiling is only the one you have erected in your mind. And if you like me, you don't have that in your mind. The stars is yours. The stars are yours, rather. And you get out there and build your own. Build something that you control. Take that wealth. Use that wealth to invest in real estate, or invest in cryptocurrency, or invest in other income assets producing the instruments. And you create incomes, and you're looking to work yourself out of your job, and you're looking to build generational wealth. This is what we do. This is what we advocate. But you won't do that if you don't understand the vital need that you need to control your own game. You need to control your own game. You're going to become an entrepreneur. You're going to launch out. I wished I would have started sooner. Now, I've been an entrepreneur since I was a teenager. Since I tried to, since I was selling. I didn't even make it to my teens. I used to sell Kent repository newspapers. Had a paper route, So I was working a business within a business. I remember a big orange pouch, and I was walking around up in Ohio, and I was a little boy, and I would have my customers, and I would deliver the newspapers to people and drop them off at their door. Then I'll come back around like within a week, and I would collect money, and I would turn it in, and they would give me a percentage of it. I didn't own a Canton repository, but I worked in a system, and I got paid. I got paid by working in that system. But I was clearly an entrepreneur, man. I had to pack the papers. Sometimes my dad, had to give me a lift because it was snowing and everything like that. But I was out there getting it, because I like the idea that I can make as much money as I want, as much as I'm willing to work for. Then before that, I used to do a company. After that, I did a company selling seeds. We used to get seeds mailed to us. And, and I'll go around selling packages of seeds. I just didn't have it in me just to work with someone else. I just wanted my own. I wanted to be able to control what my own income. Yeah, I went to college. Yeah, I got the degree. Yeah, I worked hard for other people, but I never really was happy there long term. I couldn't be, because it looked like I could be doing more and making more and doing more. And it's always come back to me that God bless the man who has his own, and I wanted my own business. And when I found this through Carrot Bars about 6 years ago, I just went to work. I went to work, just like I would go to work for someone else. If I figure if I can help build someone else wealth, I can build myself wealth. And I started off and I just went out around there and asking people, hey, you look for ways to make money. Take a look at this. I'll follow up with you. And they decided to get in and we started helping build wealth together. And by helping them build wealth and helping those people build wealth and helping those people build wealth. And lo and behold, this is what I do for full time. This is what I do from the comfort of my home. Is it easy? Absolutely not. I mean, is it work? Absolutely. But it beats the heck out of just working for someone else with opportunity to get nothing. See, the gentleman, one thing, but I could talk about with like gentleman said when he went out there, I'm going to go to Africa, take my talents right there. I could take this to Africa. My income is going to come right with me, and to tell you the truth, I'm looking to transition out of this country once I put myself in a position at least 6 months out the year. I'm one of those guys. I don't plan on giving up my U.S. citizenship, but I would like to be some other places. But you have to just decide. And so that's what we're saying. You owe it to yourself to set your own business. And you look at anyone who has become very, very successful in business, the majority of the people own their own. They own their own. And that's what you have to think about, because you can't leave your job to your children. I don't care how much money you make. If you're a professional, let's just say if you're a master plumber, you have a law firm or engineering firm, and you want to lead that to your children. If they better have the skills that you do. They better go to school. They better have to get the experience, so they're going to lose it. When you build a residual income through this business, Dinaz, Massa doesn't have to do this business. He could be doing a whole nother different game, but because of the income you build up through this business right here, he will still receive that income. It's a powerful thing. It's a powerful, powerful thing if you really look at it. And so I avail to education. I believe you should learn education. You should be continuously learning. You should continually look at where the markets are evolving, and you should involve right then where you can take advantages of the advantages out there. You should definitely have seek to acquire a strong financial education, a strong financial IQ. You should definitely that should be taught to your children. How to do that, what you're looking for, how to protect wealth. But you may want to think like, okay, I'm not going to be here forever. I want to enjoy my life. Prince said it. I don't know if it was frightening or liberated, maybe a combination of both. The time is the one luxury you don't have. Time is the one luxury you don't have. September 8th, 2 days ago, I turned 56. And I was talking to a relative of mine because her birthday was the day, and she's like in my dad's generation. My dad is she's 21 years older than me. Daddy would be 77. He's 77 now. Okay, and when I first really started talking to this relative, I was 18 years old, and I reminded her of that conversation day. I took a trip down to Jacksonville before I was off to college to Alabama State University, where I first started college off in Montgomery, Alabama. Okay, and I said, you know what? When I met you, when I first met you, you and my dad, you guys were kids. Dad was only 39 years old. But to me, as an 18-year-old, I thought he was so old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was a kid. Now I can look back from my level now and look back, like, man, that's a kid. A lot of times you 20s and things like that. Not less is something very, very exceptional about you. Very, very exceptional about you. And you'll have to ask people in my generation, man, 20-something years old, man, we consider you guys children. It's not an insult. That's the way we look at it. We just consider you 20-something years old, man. That's a kid to me. Although we know you're not. I met an elder, as I stated on this program when I was getting ready before, who talked me into doing my colon cancer testimony and giving that, and Mr. Joseph, 83-year-old Jewish man, And I told him, no, I told him, I said, well, I got a birthday, Mr. Joseph. I'm thinking about doing so and so. And he said, I'll be 56. He looked me directly in my eye and he said, man, you just a baby. Only thing came out of my mouth was yes, sir. He was an elder, highly outranked me, and he was right. To him, I'm just a child, even less than a child. So it's a matter of perspective. But ask him, does he feel 83? No. Ask him, did it take long to get there? No. And so you owe it to yourself to at least get out and try to take a chance on yourself. Build a business for you. If Carrot Bars fits into what you're talking about, great. If you want to know more about it, great. TheRealMoney.info. But it does fit a lot of those parameters that I'm talking about. You're saving in assets. You're getting paid in residual income. You're saving by having a home-based business and able to minimize your taxes. And you're able to relieve generational wealth. You're able to your dependents. You're able to run a global business from the comfort of your home using your cell phone and computer. You have no minimums, no maximums in what you can make. Everything is based on your worth ethic. There is no discrimination for those who own their own stuff. There's no discrimination for those who own your stuff, not unless you're a discriminatory person and you got people to work under you. But at this level in the game, Prince, not Samir, I much rather have people work for me than the other way around.
All right.
Or I'm sorry, I much rather have people who work with me.
All right.
With me than the other way around, because ultimately as entrepreneurs, we work for ourselves. And we know we have to bring something to the marketplace, and we know how we have to get up every day and produce. And you know what? And I don't know if anybody ever said this to you before, and I certainly never heard it. It's something come out of my mouth. There is something invigorating about walking with no net up under you.
All right.
There's something invigorating walking with no safety net, walking, building, getting up every day and going out and create something without no guarantee. I mean, you talk about something that'll bring the fire and the creativity out of you, because there's something invigorating. You up there pushing and pushing and pushing, and you ain't guaranteed a paycheck at the end of the week or in 2 weeks or a month. The only guarantee is you better get out there and create it. It turns the fire on in you, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have time to sit back and wonder what Martin and Gina are doing on the Martin Lawrence show. You don't have time to run back and watch Jerry Seinfeld and Bernie Mac reruns. I just love all three of those shows. You don't have the time to sit up there and watch Monday Night Football or the NBA playoffs. You know why you don't have the time? Because your mind is thinking, I better create something I'm not going to eat. I better get out there and create something. And and it's going to turn that fire on into you. And if you have someone who can work with you, like your spouse, you're blessed. But I tell you what, if you're going to be a true entrepreneur, you better be able to rock and roll with just you. Because if you don't have anybody to support you, you can't even worry about that. You got to get out there and create. That's exactly what I do. That's what I had to do. And so when you're going to work, but you keep bringing it, you keep working on your grind, you keep working on your shine. Eventually, you're going to start to see it trickle in. Or eventually you're going to start to see it start coming in. Eventually you're going to you're making 1/4 of your paycheck. Then turn around, you're at half. Then turn around, you're at 80%. Then you turn around, you're making double that you made to work. You're still working, you're still learning, because you get more experience. You get more savvy how to talk to people. You get more experience who not to work with. Hire slow, fire quick. Hire slow, fire quick. You're getting to say, maybe I don't need to employ my cousin with this group here. Maybe my cousin's not a good fit. Maybe I need to fire my cousin. Because if you're not able to make those decisions, you work your business, you fall asleep at the wheel, your business crashes, your cousin goes to get another new job. You might just lost your house in traditional businesses. So you have more to lose. So therefore, you're not going to be you're not going to take excuses like you're not going to sit up there and say, well, you know what, I feel tired today, I don't want to make that call. I think I'll watch Fred Flintstone reruns. You're not going to do that. Right. But people who mostly have that security blanket with a job, when I say security blanket, you got your benefits in place. You have your check. Keep in mind, you don't got security. You think you do, because if someone just knock on your door, you know what, COVID,
yeah,
COVID, or you taking off one too many sick days, or we saw something you just said on Facebook and we didn't like it. You don't have a job.
Yeah, you ate too many donuts. You ate the donuts.
And this is for real. This is for real. And so you gotta what can you use with your talents to bring value? Save a lot of gold. Tell a lot of people, make a lot of money. That's all the Karatbars philosophy is. We have the teaching, we have the stuff in place, we have a lot of other things. We're metamorphosizing into all kinds of things, cryptocurrency, all kinds of stuff. But you need to learn how to get savvy with producing and building wealth. And the best way to build wealth is that you have got to help your business partners build wealth.
Right.
That's all we advocate. And Warren Buffett has said, you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you're going to work until you die.
Right.
You're going to work until you die. That automatically eliminates a job, because you have to work in order to make the money. And you stop working, you stop making the money. So we know it can't be jobs. Okay. Mr. Michael Delco says that you don't come from a wealthy family needs to come from you. No. Other words, you doom your descendants to keep doing the same perpetual cycle that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, there's such thing as generational poverty, and there's definitely such thing as generational wealth. Which one you want?
Right.
Which one you want? Okay. And then Prince Dinas Amir says, titles are not sexy, income is. People don't care what you do. You call yourself Reverend Pooh of the Auxiliary Ward B. You call yourself head moose of the Elk Club. Call yourself doctor, lawyer, orthopedic surgeon, whatever. The bottom line is, in the world of business, they have but one question for you. Do you have the money or do you not? Do you have the money or do you not? If you don't, when will you have it? And you keep going on too long without having it, there are going to be consequences. And Fitzgerald Stevens says, if you don't make moves, moves will be made on you. And we're seeing that every day. Ladies and gentlemen, in my heart of hearts, and I've said this a couple of times on the stream, I believe the greatest opportunity to build wealth in the history of the world is right the heck now. I don't know what it looked like down the road, but I'm telling you right the heck now. There is more opportunities. You can build global wealth from a dang cell phone and a computer in your home. Millions of people doing that while they're sitting around and talking about the different foreclosures. United States is printing out somewhere down near the 1,200 to 1,300 millionaires every dang month. Somebody's getting it. It's not a recession for everyone. Why can't that be you? But those are entrepreneurs. They're out there doing it. Now you can get wealthy on a job. Deshaun Watson, 24-year-old quarterback for the Houston Texans, $153 million with $111 million guaranteed. He's an employee. It's pretty good. Patrick Mahomes, quarterback, 25 years old, Kansas City Chief, $500 million contract for 10 years. He's an employee. Okay. But let me ask you this. If the Texans and the Chiefs are paying two people that type of money, what do you think they're making? What do you think they're making? He's getting a better value. So that's all we advocate, do for yourself. Get with winners. It's enough people on this team right now. You know what? You need to partner with some of these like minds. Toss some ideas. Maybe consider starting like a co-op or or some financial, maybe consider going in together and buying some land somewhere, like in maybe Sierra Leone or Nigeria. Maybe consider, or maybe consider putting your carrot bars and partner with smart people, to help build wealth for you and them. The sky's the limit. And I'm saying that without reservation, because you have to do it. See, this isn't something like, oh, I'll take a look into it. I'll see if it works. I'll do a research. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking. We're talking about owning your own business. We're talking about creating your own income streams. Well, I'll think about it. Okay, if you don't do anything right now, what's to happen? What's to happen with the same thing that happened last year? Well, the economy is good. Entrepreneurs, we build our own economy. Right. We make our own economy. And you can too. You can't depend upon any political party. You can't depend on anyone else to take care of you. That responsibility belongs to you. So if you're ready to become a part of what we're doing here at Carrot Bars, great. We're ready to have you, man. We're ready to rock and roll. If this is not for you, great. But please do something. Please do something. And on that note, when you register, you're going to get a call from Prince Amir, and you're also able to call me 1-716-573-6296. 1-716-573-6296. That ring, that little cell phone I held up, that's been my personal number for years. I will answer it or leave a message. I show you how to work through your business, show you how to build, plug in the wealth builders. We show you how to to build your team. We'll do a goal statement for you. Fall for free of charge. The website with Carrot Bars is free of charge. Just an opportunity, just something. If you got something and you're already doing your grind and you already got something, hey, Mr. Fitzgerald, I'm cool. This is not for me. Great. I'm going to work my own thing. Great. That's phenomenal. I would encourage you to do more. Hopefully I can talk Prince Amir into doing a directory, as far as with Search for Uru or Search for Uru directory, or setting up for paid business directory, that we can actually find out what his audience does, and and like a list that they can go out, and maybe partner with someone in Sierra Leone, partner with someone, find out different things. It has to be a paid subscription because it's going to take him a lot to compile that information. And then, of course, it has to be something something to create that he has to control the integrity of the group, because he's not going to sell to your information to anyone else. It's just something I'm just giving him right now. And, and so you can dial in that. I wonder how I get started doing business in this country, like Gambia or Nigeria or Ghana, so now who's over there? Are they now? Who are they? Are they the connectors? What if I want to get citizenship over there? Is this person part of Prince Amir's network? Can we connect? Can we do something? Can we, So Dynas, I think you ought to start that. I think you ought to put that together. Like I said, it has to be a paid subscription, because you're going to do a lot of work and research. You're going to call these people and make things with you. You're going to assure them that their privacy will be protected. Assure them, that no one be able to get in touch with them without being a part of that group. So they will feel secure talking with them, and that they will feel they've already been vetted by you. And you have to be able to control the group in such a way, if someone violates those principles, you cut them off. But it would give a great thing to foster business relationships, and Prince Amir would be perfect to do that, because he already has the global connections to do it. I couldn't start it on my channel, find ways to win. I don't have that connection. But but if I want to go to Mozambique, and we have someone listening in Mozambique, or someone in London who knows someone in Mozambique, and they can put me in touch with them, and we can start doing business together, that would be an incredible tool. That I think, to start putting like-minded business people together. That's what you call the network, and that's what we build. And that's what we build here with Carrot Bars. So thank you guys for listening, and I love talking to you guys. I wish I could meet every one of you in person. I wish Search for Uru would get to the point, or get to the point one day where we can have like a international cruise somewhere, like maybe meet in Nigeria. Come out some port, and and the guys, the audience members listening in London can come down, and Mozambique can come up, and here in the United States and Canada, all over the world, we could just get together for the Search for Uru family. And you know what he could do? He could just hire business consultants to come in and talk about various things. How do you transport into Africa? How do you build? How do you start businesses? What's the housing looking? What's the business climate? And we all sit down at this on these cruises and the resort and sit down somewhere and we're just exchanging ideas and making those connections. The Search for Uru, man, I just think that's sorely needed. And to pull like-minded people together, he hosts that as a Search for Uru Business Expo or Search for Uru, whatever. We pass out different business cards to the group and people able to market there. But more importantly, we get you in front of the players who can make things happen. And then, you have certain levels, if you want to get in tier 1 club, maybe it's like who knows, you got like a $1,000 level, $3,000 level, $10,000 level, $20,000 level, some of these, I see it in my head. I see it in my head and stuff like that. And I just think, Prince, you should put something together like that, man. And, and just bring us together in a way that more besides cyberspace. We need to meet, man. I would love to meet some of these guys, and some of these ladies. I would just love to sit down and put a face with and just talk to you face and face and, just see how I can make my brand better, how we can make your brand better. I just would love to do something like that. Everybody else does it. Other people do it. Now, and notice how I said that. Now, Prince is an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. I can just give him the idea. He can run with it, create it, and he don't need to ask anybody's permission. See, this is why I'm talking about being an entrepreneur, having control over your own destiny. You can make choices for your betterment on a dime. Now, Lillard, it just came into my head. He's my friend. He's my brother, man. I ain't jealous of him. If I got an idea that I think that can help him, you better believe I'm going to run it by him. And I'm not going to ask him for a cut. No, I'm not going to do that. I want my brother to prosper because I know that network prospers. I know it can help me prosper and can help the audience member prosper. And so just something to think about, Prince. Just something to put together, man. As far as that, maybe what we touched down. Africa would be the logical place because that's what you're all talking about, and that's why a lot of people come as far as on that. You just put something together, man, and. And you can run that through your tour company and, give nice discounted packages for Search for. You hear them. You see how I'm going.
Yeah.
You see how I'm going. And I think the audience was really like that. I think people will want to meet like that. Everybody from Mr. Bottoms to Mr. E to the Black Cyber Network and to definitely Fitzgerald Stevens. I think people would like to see that, man. Yeah, I wouldn't mind sitting down with some like-minded people, see how we can really make it run, how we really can not just talk about it, but be about it. Man, I would join that. I mean, I definitely would become a part of that. So the only thing, you figure out how you're going to protect the integrity of the group, because if I give out my personal information on here and you got my personal email, it ain't to be. I don't want to see it popping up on Facebook. I don't want to see Facebook give me a whole bunch of ads. That's what I mean. Protect the integrity of the group. Then we have bankers in there. You can have financial people in there. You can have consulate people in there who knows how to mitigate, people who know how to structure, get the passport, even people who know how to get you into various citizens of these nations, or they're connected like that. With the idea that you pay by giving back to the community. No. So Prince, I'm finished like that, man. And I appreciate it. But, and everybody, thank you. But I really would like to meet each and every one of you. I really do. I mean, from the comments I see and just what I feel with what Search for Uru has put together, man, this is a dang good group. And we need to take advantage of all our talents and our skill levels, and we need to pull them together to create something really for our advantage and moving us forward to our personal goals. I just really feel that in my heart. Like I said, I'm older now, man. I'm older. So, and one thing, when you do become older, you realize it's not just you. You want to leave a legacy. You really want to leave a legacy. You want to leave this world better. You want to make it better. You want people to know your name in a good way. And I'm certainly one of those people. So you want to lead something. God bless you all. I appreciate you. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Take action. We're here for you. Just take action and everything. And it's no substitute for that. You can only think about things and talk about things so much. Someone got to get up and do some work.
Right.
God bless you all.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Once again, my affiliate links in the chat room. Click on my affiliate link, sign up as an affiliate. It's also scrolling in the ticker at the bottom of the screen. It will be in the description. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Peace.